निषिद्धैरप्येभिः लुलितमकरन्दो मधुकरैः करैः रिन्दोरिन्तश्चुरित इव सम्भिन्नमुकुलः विधत्तां सिद्धिं नो नयनसुभगस्य सुभगाम् अस्य सदसः प्रकीर्णः पुष्पाणां हरिचरणयोः अञ्जलिरयम्. We have to start with the entrance of Duryodhana and Karna right now. So Ashwathama, Kripacharya convinces Ashwathama, or he says, no, you have to take up the post of Senapati, and that's you should enter into the battle with that honor. So iti parikramataha vatsa evamidam ataha tameva uddesham gacchavaha. So let's go to the place where Duryodhana is, and let's try to console him, because mundasapam santapam karomi iti Ashwathama vadati. So iti parikramataha tatah pravishati Karna Duryodhana. Both Karna and Duryodhana enter. See, a little background on this section. You will find that Karna's character is portrayed very differently here when compared to what is there in Mahabharata. Here he is totally a jealous person, and he insults even Drona. But in Mahabharatam he was never like that. He was always very respectful of Drona in Bharatam. This is more for dramatization, and the Kavis have a license in that respect to change it to suit the way their plot. Okay. Duryodhana is portrayed as a person who is always doubtful about what is going on here. So tatah pravishati Karna Duryodhanaha Angaraja Tejasvi Ripuhata Bandhu Dukkha Param Bahubhyam Vrajati Dhritayudha Plavabhyam Acharya Sutanidanam Nishamya Sankhye Kim Shastragraha Samaye Vishastraha Asit. So he has this doubt about Drona, and he says, see, usually what people do is Tejasvi Chet. Samanyam. In general, when we think of people who are extremely valorous or brave, we generally tend to think that those people would take up, as soon as they hear about the death of their relative, they would take up weapons and start fighting, especially someone who is in the middle of a battle here right now. So Tejasvi, a very, let's say, a spirited person, he would want to cross the dukkham, ripu hata bandhu dukkha param katham vrajati bahubhyam vrajati. He uses his arms, or bahubalam, the strength of his arms, to get across param vrajati. He goes across the dukkham, the sorrow that he experiences when his relative bandhu is hata. He is killed by the enemy. So when an enemy kills his bandhu, there is so much of grief in his mind, and they would want to cross that grief using their own arm strength. That is, they would like to take revenge immediately. Dhrita ayudha plavabhyam. The bahu here are the two oars. Adavadhu epdina dhrita ayudaha eva plavaha. Bahubhyam. When you want to cross an ocean, or when you want to cross a river, you use your arm strength and use oars to cross the ocean. Yeah? So ayudham is like the oar that you hold on to your arm, and with those arms you cross the ocean. So dhrita ayudha plavabhyam. Ayudhani eva plavaha. Right? Ayudham eva plavam tad dhritam yabhyam tabhyam bahubhyam. So dhritam ayudham eva plavam. So dhritam ayudha plavam yabhyam, by those two bahu. So holding on to weapons, with his arms holding on to the oars of weapons, a person who is Tejasvi, he is a spirited person, he would like to go to the other side of grief. The grief that came upon because of his relative being killed by an enemy. The ocean has not been mentioned here. If you see, Plava is mentioned, but Dukkhameva Dukkha Sagaram iti na uktam atra. Dukkhasya param ityeva uktam. So, this is an Ekadesha Vivarti Rupakam. See, we saw how Paramparita Rupakam worked there. How if one Rupakam is there, then there is another Rupakam that follows to explain that also in a chain manner, in a consequential manner. Whereas here, Ayudhameva Plavam ityuktam, kintu atra Dukkhameva Sagaraha iti na uktam. Tarhi tatra Ekadeshe eva Rupakam vartate, natu Paramparitaya Sarvatra vartate iti. Is that clear? So, Tejasvi Ripu Hata Bandhu Dukka Param Dhrita Ayudha Plavabhyam Bahubhyam Vrajati. This is natural. This is what we hear.
Once again. So here the difference is that one part of the Rupakam is mentioned, the other is implied. The Sagaram is implied.
Implied, yes. We have to understand.
Param is implied.
Yes.
Okay.
It is not mentioned here.
It's not explicitly mentioned, but the parampara can be inferred, right?
Then there can never be an Ekadesha Vivarti at all.
Okay, so Ekadesha Vivarti means only one part of it has been said. Ekadesha meva uktam iti, right?
Uktam iti, yes.
Okay.
Vachyalankaraha eva atra. Tasya, we are only looking at that division here.
Got it. Thank you.
Acharyaha Suta Nidhanam Nishamya Sankhye in the battle, Samare, Acharyaha Dronaha Suta Nidhanam Nishamya, having heard about his son's death, what did he do? Kim Shastragraha Samaye, Kim Vishastraha Asit, Kim Artham Ityarthahatra. So, why did he have to let go of his arms when it was a time to pick up his arm? Shastra graha samaye vishastraha asit kim. Why was he like that? Athava, now he himself gives an explanation for that. He says, Suuktamidam abhiyuktaihi prakritis dustyaja iti. And it has been well said by Abhiyukta. Abhiyukta nama shishtaha, probably, So you can take it as Abhiyukta as people who are, it has been well said by the Shastrakaraihi athava Abhiyuktaihi can mean people who are Jnani, one who know about the Lokaniyati are Abhiyukta. So Abhiyuktaihi su uktam idam. It has been well said by these people, by learned people, that Prakritihi Dustyaja. It is very difficult to let go of one's nature. Nature cannot be, you cannot let go of your nature. Yataha Shokandha manasatena vimuchya kshatradharma karkashyam dvijati dharma sulabhaha dainya parigraha krataha. He did not adopt the rough path of a kshatriya dharma. Kshatra dharma karkashyam. Karkashyam, karkashasya bhavaha karkashyam. Karkashaha nama, that rough. So the difficult path of kshatriya dharma, tam vimuchya. He let go of that at the moment because his mind was filled with the shokam, grief. So shokandha manasa, his mind which was blinded by the grief, by him who had a mind which was blinded by grief. So tena atra dronena. So Drona, filled with grief and completely his mind was overpowered by that grief. He gave up the toughness of this kshatriya dharma, a warrior's path, and dvijati dharma sulabaha dainya parigraha krataha. He adopted the soft nature, dainya parigraha kritaha, that is soft or meek behavior. No? So he took up that soft nature which is sulabhaha, which is very easy and something which is natural to a brahmana. Dvijati dharma sulabhaha dainya parigraha kritaha. Karnaha Rajan na khalu idam evam. So he could have just very well said, yes, maybe it's true that nature takes over at a point when we are at the weakest. No, what is there in our the ulmanasla irukkiradhu velila varum paathriyumallum andha madri. So whatever is there in the depths of your mind will naturally come out when you are at your weakest point, no matter what, whether it is krodha or shoka or kamam, it doesn't matter. If you are overcome by, and if you let your mind or let viveka not rule there and let your mind rule, sometimes you will give in to whatever is there in the depths of your mind. So Karna also, he says, na khalu idam evam. So, but Karna is more jealous here, and he says, see, that is not the point. You should understand, he wanted Ashwathama to be the king here. Adima. Which is not true. Katham tarhi. Evam kila asya abhiprayaha. Yatha. Ashwathama maya prithvirajye abhishektavyaha iti. Tasya abhavat. Vriddhasya me brahmanasya vritha shastragrahanam iti tatha kritavan. He's got a very different view here. Asya abhiprayaha yatha, his opinion must have been that maya ashwathama prithvirajye abhishektavyaha. Ashwathama has to be coronated as the king of this earth. He has to be placed on the throne of this prithvi, of this entire world. Iti tasya abhiprayaha. Probably that was his opinion. Tasya abhavat, tasya ityukte ashwathamnaha abhavat. Now that Ashwathama is absent, he says, vriddhasya me brahmanasya, me, I who am an old brahmana, shastragrahanam vritha. This is a waste. It is useless, a futile effort on my part to take up a weapon. Thinking thus, he तथा कृतवान शस्त्र त्यागः कृतः इति शस्त्र परिग्रह समये विशस्त्रः आसीत् इति उक्तं खलु तदेव अत्र स्वीकरणीयं सो तथा कृतवान् इति चेत् तत्र शस्त्र त्यागः कृतः अनेन इति दुर्योधनः सशिरःकम्पम् एवमिदं सो Duryodhana seems to accept anything that Karna says. So, evam it is possible. He always doubts something, and adnalna kepar peche kekkrudungiradhu. His mind could easily be swayed by either Karna or Shakuni. That's why they had a grip over Duryodhana in many ways. So, evam yes, what you say is yukti yuktam. It is possible. Karnaha, etadartham cha, he gives another reason. He also, not only just, it's not a random thing that he says, but he also says, etadartham cha, Kaurava Pandava Pakshapata Pravritta Mahasangраmasya Rajakasya, Paraspara Kshayam Apekshamanena Tena, Pradhana Purusha Vadhe Upeksha Krita. He was, he looked at the armies of Kaurava and Pandava, Kaurava Pandava Pakshapata Pravritta Mahasangраmasya. This is a great war wherein you either took up the side of Kaurava or you have to take up the side of Pandava. There are only two possibilities here. So, Kaurava, Pandava, Pakshapata, Pravritta, Mahasangраmasya. This Mahasangrama, which was Pravritta, which had begun as something which was, favorable to either the Kauravas, either by taking side of the Kauravas or the Pandavas. That is how the kings entered into this Yuddham. So, Rajakasya, Rajakaha, Mahasangramam, Rajakam Mahasangramam Pravrittam. So that is the host of kings entered into this Mahasangrama, this great war, either taking sides with Kaurava or Pandava. Now what is going to happen? Paraspara Kshayam Apekshamanena Tena Dronena. Now Drona Apekshate, he expects that there is going to be a mutual destruction between the two. Ottara adichika pora. Adu nichayam. Abdingra. So Paraspara Kshayam Apekshamanena Tena. So what he did was Pradhana Purusha Vadhe Upeksha Krita. He ignored or he remained neutral when the killing of the principal persons in our side was happening. That is, when Bhishma was killed, Drona did not do anything at that point of time, which is what he is trying to say. He could have saved Bhishma. Bhishma was a great warrior and he lasted for 10 days as a Senapati. When he was being killed, Drona did not even look at that side. He was busy attacking and killing somebody else. Karna was not there to know what was happening there in the battlefield, of course, because Karna was not allowed until Bhishma was the Senapati. That was the rule.
I didn't want to, Maudya. it was not allowed. He did not want to be under when Bhishma was the Sena.
Anyway,
Karna didn't want
It
to come in when
it
Bhishma was
said
alive.
the Google
Yes,
says
that is what
Karna didn't want to fight because Bhishma humiliated him. He called
அதான்
him
ஏதாவது ரீசன் இருக்கணும்.
Ardhashastra or something like that.
Sutaputra.
Half warrior, something like that.
Okay. Then fine. Okay, சரி. Okay. So it was because Karna did not want to fight with Bhishma, he did not go into the battle. Done. Apo, when Drona and Bhishma were fighting for the first 10 days, nobody knew or nobody was a witness to why Drona did not. Adu vandu chumma he is randomly saying here that Drona ignored the fact that and ignored when he was standing neutral when the principal man, who is Bhishma, was being killed there. Right? See, yes, he had a varam that he could die whenever he wanted. That is true. But at the same time, he was pushed to the state and he was put on the bed of arrows by someone. Appo Drona could have stopped him.
Maybe Karna, like on the momentல வந்து என்ன பேசுறோனே தெரியாம சில சமயத்துல பேசிட்டு இருப்போம் தெரியுமா, when tensions are on the rise, maybe he's making some erratic statement, அப்படி கூட எடுத்துக்கலாம்.
Correct. இந்த இடத்துல அப்படிதான் எடுத்துக்கிறான். So that's what I'm saying. Dramaல அப்படி ஒரிஜினல்ல அந்த மாதிரி ஒரு கேரக்டர் இருக்கிறாப்ல தெரியலங்கிறேன்.
Okay.
You know? Yeah, he doesn't insult Drona like this. அந்த விதத்துல அது ஒரு மாதிரி yeah, it doesn't fit his character. So एतदर्थं च कौरव पाण्डव पक्षपात प्रवृत्त महासंग्रामस्य राजकस्य परस्पर क्षयम् अपेक्षमाणेन तेन, expecting a mutual destruction between the kings who had joined the army either as on the side of Kaurava or on the side of Pandava. Pradhana Purusha Vadhe Upeksha Krita. He ignored or he overlooked that killing of Bhishma. Here. Pradhana Virena Itarasya Vadhe Jate. tam veeram nihatya aham prithvi rajya ashwathamanam abhishechayami iti tasya abhiprayah. The Vyakhyata says this. So when a pradhana purushasya pradhana veerena vadhe jate sati, so when a pradhana purusha was killing also, he decided that he will, he decided that he will kill that person. So he was waiting for the person to come up in the pyramid and then he will fight with that person who is remaining. That was his idea. And then put Ashwathama on the throne. Clear? Karnaha. Anyacha Rajan Drupadenapi asya balyat prabhriti abhipraya vedina na swarashtre vasaha dattaha. There is another fact to support this also, that Drupadena, by Drupada, Balyat Prabhriti, right from childhood, Abhipraya Vedina Drupadena, he knew about Drona's opinion, and that is why Swarashtre in his kingdom also, Drupada did not give him any place to stay. Vasaha na dattaha. Sadhu Angaraja, Sadhu, Nipunam Abhihitam. Nipunam in an expert manner. So you have given a proper logic here. Karnaha. Nacha ayam mama ekasya abhiprayaha. Anye abhiyuktaha api na evam naiva idam anyatha manyante. And it is not my single opinion. Others are also saying even though it is only his own opinion. But at the same time, to have some validation, will also, oh, they said, this said, nobody is going to go there and verify here. If someone is dead, you quote that person and say, he told me. It was something that happened between him and me. Who is there to verify that episode? Nobody records conversations, nor is there any CCTV to record and tell us. Right? So if you say it is a private conversation and during that time that great person told me that this is what the reality is, that's it. So the Karna is saying, Nacha ayam mama ekasya abhiprayaha. This is not my own opinion. But anye abhiyuktaha api, other people also do not think otherwise. Anyatha naiva idam manyante. They do not think otherwise. Duryodhanaha evametat kasandehaha. So it's possible. What is the doubt in this? So he not only Bhishma's vadham, Even during Drona's Senapatyam, Sindhuraja, Jayadratha was killed. So Duryodhana is pointing out to that episode in the shloka. He's saying, Dattva bhayam so atirathaha vadhyamanam kiritina Sindhurajam upeksheta naivam chet kathamanyatha. Evam na chet, naivam chet, evam no chet. If this was not the case, then katham, how is it possible that yes, evam na chet anyatha katham, the atirataha, saha atirataha, that Drona, atiratha refers to it is a title here. So one who has many adavadhu ardharatha, Ratha, Maharatha, Athiratha. Athiratha is the final position, Anga. So one who has many warriors under him is called an Athiratha. So Saha Athiratha Dronaha, Abhayam Dattva, having given refuge to Jayadratha, Sindhuraja, who was being killed by Kiriti, Kiritina Vadhyamanam Sindhurajam, Katham Upeksheta. How else could he, who is an Atiratha, overlooked the fact that Kiriti, that is Arjuna, was killing the king of Sindhuraja, even though he had promised him his safety. Dattva abhayam. Abhayam dattva Kiritina vadhyamanam Sindhurajam katham upeksheta. How is it possible for Bhishma called Karna Ardharatha? Okay. அர்த்தரதாங்கிறது the first position தான், அவ்வளவுதான். அதில் ஒன்றும் இது இல்லை. ஐ திங்க் தெரியல. கிருபா விலோக்கிய வத்ச ஏஷ துரியோதனः சூதபுத்ரேண சஹ அஸ்யாம் so now Kripacharya. So Duryodhana and Karna are talking here. If you notice, when they entered, it doesn't say upavishya or anything. I just noticed that point here. So tataf pravishataha karna duryodhana. It doesn't say whether they were sitting down or not or what. So we have to assume that they are sitting down because Kripacharya is going to point out to that fact that they both are sitting down right now. So Kripaha vilokya vatsa. Now Kripacharya is talking to Ashwathama. Esha duryodhanaha Sutaputrena saha, Duryodhana along with Sutaputra, the son of a charioteer, Karna, Asyam Nyagrodhachayayam Upavishtastishtati tad upasarpavaha. Nyagrodhachayayam, under the shade of a banyan tree, Upavishtastishtati. Tishtati, he is sitting, he is present, sitting with Karna under the shade of a banyan tree, Upasarpavaha. Let's approach him. So tatha kritva, they go near the two of them, Ubhau, Kripacharya and Ashwathama, Vijayatam Kauraveshwaraha. So victory be to the Lord of Kauravas. Duryodhanaha drishtva aye katham Kripaha Ashwathama cha. So Kripacharya and Ashwathama asanad avatirya Kripam prati. He gets down from his asanam and then looks at Kripacharya and says, Guru abhivadaye, I bow to you. Ashwathama namuddishya Acharya putra. He has to express grief. Vijarikiradu, dukkam vijarikkanam only. Adanala. So, ehi asmadartha hatatata parishvajasva klantair imair mama nirantaram angam angaihi sparshas tavaisha bhujayoho sadrishaf pituste shokepi no vikritimeti tanuruheshu. Ehi. Acharya Putra Ehi. He also calls him as Asmadartha Hatatata, one whose father was Hata, was killed for the sake of me. That is the wanting, he took up that Senapatitvam because he wanted to protect Duryodhana, right? You whose father was killed for our cause. Asmadartham. Asmadartham can be interpreted as for the sake of the two of us also. Or just ஒரு ராயல் கண்ட்ரிக்காக அப்படிங்கிறோம் இல்லையா, for the sake of us. So ehi, come, parishvajasva, hug me, klantaihi imaihi, angaihi, angam nirantaram mama angam parishvajasva. So embrace me nirantaram. Nirantaram is without any gap, really tightly. Angaihi mama angam. Embrace me with your parts. So angaihi garche with your limbs, which are klantaihi, which are extremely tired right now. With your arms, hug me, abdingra. Embrace me closely. Nanna kattiko abdingra malu. Sparshas tavaisha bhujayoho sadrishav pituste. The reason he gives is very, very beautiful. The touch of your shoulder is like that of your own father. You say the son is in the image of the father, right? So he says this touch of your arms resembles that of your father. So te pituhu sadrishaha tava eshaha bhujayoho sparshaha shoke api. This sparsha, this touch, it seems to give me a transformation to my hairs. Adavadhu it gives me horripilation angra. And the mudi ella nikkarudungra. So the hair that is there on my hands seems to stand up as if out of joy, but still I am going through grief here. Shoke api. Dukkama irunda kuda mudi abdi nikkarudungra. Usually the horripilation, romancha, is due to joy. It can be due to krodham. It can be due to viram. That can come. But then shoke api, in grief you don't have romancha. So shoke api, even though I am in grief, yet the touch of you, அதாவது ஒரு நிமிஷம் உடம்பு சிலுக்கிறதுங்கிறான் இல்ல, அப்பா மாதிரியே இருக்குன்னு. Even though Drona is not present right now, it's as if he is hugging Drona himself, and that is why there is a vikriti. There is a change to my the hairs that are there in my body. Tanuruha, tanuhu, body. Tatra rohante iti, that which grows on the body. So the hair, naha tanuruheshu vikritim eti shoke api. Even in grief, there seems to be a change coming to the hair which of me, that is present in my body. Ehi asmadartha hatatata parishvajasva klantairimai mama nirantaram angam angaihi sparshas tavaisha bhujayoho sadrishav pituste shoke pino vikritimeti tanuruheshu alingya parshve upaveshayati. Alingya, he embraces him and then he makes him sit down on the side of him. So Dronayane is a very interesting usage. Dronasya apatyam அப்படினு. Ashwatthama bashpam utsrijati. So bashpam utsrijati, he cries here. இந்த மாதிரி யாராவது சொன்னா உடனே, at the moment someone comes and shares something like this and you embrace, when you have just gotten the news of someone's, you won't realize, you will immediately shed tears here. So Ashwatthama api bashpam utsrijati, he sheds tears. Karnaha Draunayane alam atyartham atmanam shokanale praksheptum. Karna also has to dukkha vicharikanalla. He also has to say something to console him. So he says, enough of putting yourself into this fire of grief constantly. So alam atyartham atmanam shokanale praksheptum. Don't throw yourself into this grief so much. So Draunayane அப்படிங்கிறது Dronasya apatyam. It can be also Draunihi is also correct. Draunayanaha is also correct. எனக்கு ஏதோ சூத்திரம் இருக்குன்னு நினைக்கிறேன்.
Oh, like Vatsyayana, like that, right?
Yeah. Ayane அது வரும், but there is a sutram there. Apatyartha sutram is there for this. Draunayane alam atyartham atmanam shokanale praksheptum. This also fits Karna's character. See, Duryodhana has grown up with Ashwatthama. So the way he interacts with Ashwatthama is different from Karna, who has come later. He was not there, he did not grow up with all of them. Right? So he has that or distance that he maintains, but at the same time he says, compose yourself. Duryodhana, Acharya Putra, ko visheshaha avayoho asmin Vyasanamaharnave pashya. See, there is no difference between the two of us. Ko visheshaha. What is the difference? Avayoho, between us. In this Mahavyasana, asmin Vyasana Maharnave, in this great ocean of Vyasanam, difficulty, calamity, there is no difference between the two of us. See, Tatas Tava Pranayavan Sapitus Sakhame Shastre Yatha Tava Guruhu Satatha Mamapi Kintasya Deha Nidhane Kathayami Dukkham Jani Hitad Guru Shucha Manasa Tvameva. He is your father. Tava Tataha Pituhu Me Pituhu Sakhasaha Pranayavan. He was very affectionate here. Tava Tataha, he is your father, yes, but at the same time, he was my father's very close friend, very affectionate friend also. Pranayavan Sakha. Shastre Yatha Tava Guruhu, just as how he was your teacher in weaponry, Saha Tatha Mamapi. He was also my Guru. Not just a teacher that you go for 1 hour and come back. He was also like a family friend here. He was his father's close friend. At the same time, he was a teacher to Ashwathama and to Duryodhana also. Shastre yatha tava guruhu satatha mamapi. Kim tasya deha nidhane dukkham kathayami. What do I tell you about the sorrow? How can I express my grief to you at his death? Deha nidhane. When his physical death has happened, how do I convey my grief to you? Because we both are in the same boat right now. Janihi, all you have to know is, you are the only person who can understand what I am going through and know that it is the same thing that is going on in your mind also. Tad guru shucha manasa tvameva janihi. You yourself understand what is going on in my mind because it is the same as mine also. Tava manasa tvameva janihi. You understand it with your mind that is already heavy with grief. Tad guru shucha manasa janihi. You yourself understand this right now. There is some other sutram that works here. Anyway, so Tatas Tava Pranayaman Sapitus Sakha.
Gargadibhyaha yai or something. Gargadibhyaha yai or something.
Gargadibhyaha. Okay.
Maybe.
1 minute. Let me just check that. No, 41103. Drona Parvata Jivanta Danyatarasyam. So Dronayanaha or Dronihi. So both are possible. Okay? Yeah. 41103. Tatas Tava Pranayaman Sapitus Sakhame Shastre Yatha Tava Guruhu Satatha Mamapi Kim Tasya Deha Nidhane Kathayami Dukkam. Sometimes you are unable to express what you are going through. So only a person who is going through a similar grief can understand the silathila solla mudiyadu. No, it's not possible. You can just say, I have not gone through, but yeah, okay, I understand. But then actually only a person who goes through it personally will be able to understand that. Kim tasya deha nidhane kathayami dukkham janihi tad gurushucha manasa tvameva. You yourself can understand it because you know how the weight of the grief in your mind. I'm sure my mind is also the same way. So yeah. Okay.